welcome back. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and every week we want to bring you information that'll help you with your real estate transactions. We know that 2016 is going to be a great year for real estate transactions. A lot of investors are looking out for those investment properties, and we've done a lot of shows in the past on investors and investment properties and how to pick a good investment property and things you need to know to be an investor, and we talked about the financial part of it. We've talked a lot about what you do when a tenant moves out and there's damage to the property. So we've kind of covered all of that. And the one thing we really hadn't covered is illegal activity. So that's what this show is all about today. It's about mold, meth, and marijuana. So we focused last segment a lot on the marijuana part of it. When tenants move into a house and they grow a lot of marijuana. So this segment we're going to focus a little bit more on meth and how you handle a property when you're having problems with that. So I've got Lieutenant Ruben Diaz calling in from the Harris County Sheriff's Office. We appreciate you calling in. Thanks. Welcome to the show.
You're welcome.
So let's talk a little bit about these meth houses. I mean, is this a big problem in Houston?
I would say it's a big problem. We do run across it from time to time. It's hard to say the size of the magnitude of the problem it is, but when we do discover these things, we absolutely take care of it.
You know, a lot of us have watched the show Breaking Bad, and I'm just imagining these people in this house, doing this sort of thing. Do you find that most of the people who are that are running these meth labs, are they really careful and wear masks and keep themselves safe? Or are they just doing this and breathing all the stuff in and becoming potentially sick themselves?
Both ways. I would say that they're not completely intelligent about what they're doing, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it at all.
Yeah.
But it can be a dangerous endeavor.
Yeah. So when you find out that someone has been doing this sort of activity in a home and it's busted up, and this poor landlord now has to figure out what to do with this house, I mean, what do you think? Is it livable after that?
Well, when we go in, we generally will arrest all the suspects that are involved in the operation, and we will seize whatever illegal chemicals or illegal drugs that we find on the inside. As far as completely cleaning it and making it livable again, that would be the property owner's responsibility. We wouldn't be involved in that at all.
Okay. And are these houses that are used as meth labs, are they damaged? Is there a lot of damage that you can see in the house, or is it more in the air and in the vents, in the ventilation system? And, can you visibly see all the damage?
Not necessarily. Usually what happens on meth labs is the most you're going to see is where they're darkening the windows or covering the windows so that people can't see what's going on the inside, just standing on the outside of the building looking in. But as far as damaging the property inside to create a meth lab, that's not what we see.
Okay. All right. I've heard it's pretty dangerous, that you don't want to live in a house after that's happened until the sheetrock's been replaced.
It's hard to say. It depends on how long were they doing it, exactly how long the operation was there, and what exactly they were up to. Mm-hmm. It's hard to say.
So how can a landlord kind of filter out these people that are going to do this kind of behavior? Do you have any tips for landlords as they're screening tenants?
Well, there's really no answer to that question. And how do you know that someone that looks legit is going to actually go in there and start an operation such as this when it's behind closed doors? You have no way of knowing it. The only thing you can do is check the property from time to time, see if they look like they're living a normal life, if they're going in and out of the property like normal people do, or the windows are not darkened out, or you don't see or smell any unusual smells when you go and you check your property. But as far as being able to know ahead of time that you're going to rent or lease to someone that's possibly going to do something like that, a good background check. Other than that, you really don't know.
Yeah. How do you guys find out about these meth labs around town? Is it just from routine patrols? Is it from neighbors who are calling? What's the way that y'all normally get tipped off on them?
Normally, we stumble upon them. We could be going up, doing some other type of investigation, and most of the time it can be patrols responding to a call for service at that particular location. A neighbor might call in and say that they're seeing some unusual activity at the address, and patrol goes over there, and then they see or smell something that seems to be unusual, and then they contact narcotics, and we go out there and follow up on the investigation, and that's how we normally find out about these places.
What are some of the things that would clue in neighbors or even the landlord, other than the darkened windows? Are there any other signs to look for?
Well, activity at the location, unusual movement, like, for instance, they might never use the front door. They might always have a secret passage through the back to be able to get in and out, so people don't see a lot of movement in and out of the place. Mm-hmm. The windows, like I said, could be darkened, or there might be chemicals that they see laying around on the side of the buildings or somewhere like that. They might have unusual smells. It might smell like ammonia or things like that could possibly be used in some of the chemicals that are used in those things.
Now, do you guys, do y'all find that the people normally live in these properties, or they just come and go just to cook?
Normally, they're not going to live in there. Okay. Would you?
No,
no,
I wouldn't. But I wouldn't. No. I wouldn't have a meth lab. So
normally they're not going. They're not going to live in actually have a residence and they're having a meth lab in the same place. Normally they just use them for that purpose, and that's it.
Okay. All right. And for potential tenants out there looking for a place to live, there's really no way for them to know if a house has been used in this kind of way. If the landlord goes in and repaints it and changes out the carpet, they're really not going to know, right?
You're not going to know. You're not.
Wow. Okay. And it could still be dangerous. I mean, there's a potential for mold and other things that could still be dangerous for tenants.
That is true, but there's no way to warn anybody, or there's no law that says that has to be disclosed that it was ever used as that for that purpose.
Yeah. All right. Well, how much do you have any statistics on this? I mean, how much y'all are seeing? As I know you said it's not a huge problem, but any idea how much is going on in Harris County?
Well, just in the unincorporated areas of Harris County, we might run across maybe 1 to 5 meth labs a year.
Okay.
We might run into like 5 to 10 indoor growing operations a year. Mm-hmm. But, again, it's hit and miss. It depends. We depend a lot on our citizens out there to notify us if they see something to tell us. Yeah. And we absolutely will go out and investigate. And if we can prove anything's going on, we're going to make an arrest.
What ages are the people who are usually running meth labs? I mean, are these teenagers or these older folks? What age group are you usually seeing?
I'd say 20 to 35.
Okay. And what about for grow houses? The same?
About the same, yes.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, we've heard that some people from California said the market's just flooded out there with grow houses, so they come here to grow it and have a license in California, but it doesn't do them any good here. Do you see that?
Right.
All right. Well, we appreciate you calling in. Lieutenant Diaz with the Harris County Sheriff's Office. We appreciate the hard work that you're doing out there to make sure that these places get shut down so that neighbors don't have to worry about things like this in their neighborhood. It's a terrible thing to have in your community, for sure, something you don't want living next door to you,
It is. You're welcome.
And if somebody does suspect that there's a grow house or a meth lab in their neighborhood, what can they do?
Absolutely. Call the local police agency from wherever they're living at, and tell them exactly what it is you're seeing, and allow their narcotics unit to go out and investigate.
All right, very good. We appreciate you. Thanks for calling in. If you've got a real estate question, give us a call, 844-788-9444. I still have some of those books by Chris Hogan, and we're giving those away to our callers. So give us a call, 844-788-9444, and we'll answer your real estate questions right here on the air every Sunday between 11 and noon. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors here on Houston Real Estate Radio.